experiences got a bad reputation early on during the PSVR1 lifespan. There just weren't enough full-fledged games, so when we got flooded with bite-sized shorter games, wave shooters, and experiences, sometimes it seemed like that's all we were getting and all we were ever gonna get. But on PSVR2 we kicked things off right with a ton of great games and some AAA exclusives. So the fact that Before Your Eyes is our first experience on the platform makes it kind of refreshing, rather than tiresome.
You know, my father once told me, when I was about your age, the only way to fight against time is to create a work of genius, which might live on after you're gone.
Look at that! There's your little hand.
Benjamin Bryn was your typical kid. His best friend lived next door, he liked to play video games, and his parents had big aspirations for him. But Benjamin Bryn isn't a kid anymore. In fact, as Before Your Eyes begins, he's on a journey across unknown waters with a ferryman, waiting for his life to be judged by some mysterious entity. So what follows for the next 90 minutes or so are glimpses into Benjamin's past, short snippets of some of the moments he remembers best, with a few decisions to be made along the way, opening the door for a second playthrough.
There you go, buddy. Okay, now keep a firm grip on it, just like that. Oh my!
What differentiates Before Your Eyes from other traditional narrative VR experiences is the addition of eye tracking, or more appropriately, blink detection. Every item you interact with isn't done using a controller button, but instead by looking at it and blinking. Now, personally, I'd call that mildly amusing at best, but the real fascinating part kicks in whenever the metronome icon appears on screen. This is when you can either blink to end the scene and jump ahead in time, or keep your eyes open to see what else might happen. I had a lot of questions about this particular mechanic before playing, mostly whether I'd be able to blink, then roll credits and finish the story in just a few seconds, and the answer to that is no. The metronome icon is rarely on screen, but when it was, I did find myself trying as hard as possible to keep my eyes open in order to see everything that there was to see, and I did kick myself once or twice for accidentally blinking, which caused the scene to end. Since Before Your Eyes is a story that's mostly being told to you rather than a game where you walk around and have full control, it's immediately going to have a more limited appeal than most of the other offerings on PSVR2. But this emotional indie stuff is in my blood, which makes what I'm about to say a little disappointing. I didn't love the art style. The voice acting, despite starring some well-known actors, felt somewhat forced. And the characters and story, at first, didn't resonate with me at all. Which means it's a massive testament to both the writing and the beautiful piano-charged soundtrack that Before Your Eyes caused me to shed my very first tears in my brand new PSVR2 headset. And that came out of nowhere. I went from wondering when I'd start caring about these characters to needing a hug so fast I was trying to figure out who to sue for whiplash. And in my book, when a video game can evoke an emotional response like that in a relatively short amount of time, well, that counts for something. I love indie games that come from the heart, and even though this one took its time getting there, Before Your Eyes did connect with me eventually. I just didn't love it the way that I wanted to. With a 90-minute runtime, there just wasn't quite enough time to form a bond with these characters and make it a story I'll remember forever, the way that something like Gone Home did. But the benefits of an easy platinum, a few emotional twists, great soundtrack, and a fun little eye-tracking mechanic, to me at least, still makes it worth experiencing.
So sure, maybe I'm not the most verbose storyteller out there, but I know how to spin a yarn if I'm given something to work with. And that's where you come in. Your life. You're gonna show it to me. I want to see exactly what made you so absolutely great. So just think back to the very beginning, the first thing that you can remember. I'm gonna send you there. But understand, no matter how much you like it, you're not gonna be able to stay, all right? Every time you blink, you're going to jump forward in time. Could be a second, could be 5 years. That's just how this thing works. Alrighty then. I hope he's ready for this. Now, the next time that you blink, I'm gonna send you back. Now, don't be afraid, and don't try to fight it. The thing to remember about blinking is, well, it's only a matter of time.